Marthor here. I'm going to do a quick review of the Applegate-Fairbairn Combat Folding Knife. And today is a special occasion. It's the 100-year birthday of Colonel Rex Applegate. He was born June 21st, 1914, and today is his 100-year birthday. Rex Applegate is a famous and important person to American Special Forces history. He was the original designer of a lot of the combat classes for American Special Forces. He also wrote this book, Kill or Get Killed by Colonel Rex Applegate. And this book was the premier combat manual in America for over 50 years. And even today, it's still listed on the list of training manuals for the Marine Corps. Colonel Rex Applegate also did some other interesting things. He was the personal bodyguard for President FDR during World War II for a bit, and he also taught John Wayne how to shoot a pistol. So those are some interesting things. He also designed some knives, the Applegate-Fairbairn Combat Knife, which is the fixed blade picture on the left on the paper. And he also designed the Smatchet. The Smatchet is a kind of a combo of a short sword, machete, and hatchet. So those are just some of the things that Colonel Rex Applegate did. So happy 100-year birthday to him. Now on to the review of the Applegate-Fairbairn Combat Folder and a little bit of history of how we got to this knife. Some famous knives in American combat history. In Vietnam, there was the K-bar, and the Gerber Mark II were widely used. But the Applegate-Fairbairn design never really caught on widely. Some people have used it, but not as widely as these others. It does have a lot of good features that you want in a combat knife. You've probably heard of the Fairbairn Sykes, which is an even older design, and it was widely used. But the criticism of that knife was the blade was a little bit thinner and would break more often. So to alleviate that on this new design, they just made it a little bit wider, and that would help alleviate that problem. But your features on a combat knife, you want it to be thinner for penetration and double-sided, and you want to have a good key-on or crossguard that keeps your hand from sliding up onto the blade during a thrust. And the other important feature is this finger groove. And that gives you something extra to hold on to when you're withdrawing the knife. So all of the features you would want in a combat knife are here in the Applegate-Fairbairn. The Gerber has a guy named Bill Harsey, and he took this design and turned it into a folding knife. So his objective was to keep all the dimensions and shape the same and just add a hinge and turn it into a folder. And probably the folding knife version has become more popular than the fixed blade. There's actually 3 different sizes to choose from too. There's the combat folder, and then there's the covert, which is a bit smaller. This has a 4-inch blade. That's what I have here. This is the covert version. 4-inch blade, titanium nitrate coating. You can see it's got Rex Applegate signature on the blade, which is a neat feature. Once it's open, all the design of the original is there, except without the crossguard. But it does have the finger grooves, which almost act like a crossguard. When you get your fingers down there, it helps keep from sliding up onto the blade. Another thing is, to get to the vital organs, a blade needs to be longer than 3 inches. So this is a 4-inch blade, so this will do the job. There's also a smaller version, though, called the mini covert. So this is like the medium-sized. It's called the covert. You could use this for everyday carry. It is a combat shape, but it'll do all your everyday carry tasks. But with the added benefit, you'll always be prepared in case you are attacked and need to defend yourself. That's an all-American value. Always be prepared, Boy Scouts. Always carry a knife. Rule number 9 from Gibbs on the show NCIS. Those are all-American values. Be prepared to defend yourself. One special feature in particular is they designed this rotolock mechanism, and it also has, when you grab it, you're going to automatically pretty much push this down in. That actually locks it so that the lock is not able to move now. So that is some extra stability, making it so the knife would not be able to close at all. So that's something different on this knife that you won't find on other knives, that little extra lock mechanism. You don't really have to worry about pushing it in, because when you grab it anyway, you're automatically going to push that down in. So weight, 4.2 ounces is very light. Compared to the EDC I've been using, is a cold steel Tylite, pretty much about the same size and shape as the Tylite. The Tylite is 4.6 ounces, so the Applegate Covert is a little bit lighter at 4.2 ounces. So I recommend it. It's quality made. Go through all these things. Price, $90. Under $100 isn't, I wouldn't call it expensive, and I wouldn't call it cheap either, so kind of average price range. I got it for about $90. Function, combat shape, but definitely you could use it for EDC, especially to always be prepared. It's a good size for your pocket. I wouldn't want the larger one or the smaller one. This is the medium size one, which is a good size that I recommend with a 4-inch blade. Weight, 4.2 ounces, is very light. High quality, glass-filled nylon, kind of a fiberglass, very sturdy, strong handle, and coolness, especially with the signature here, just to have in your knife collection. Rex Applegate signature and Fairbairn, he's famous too, just to have in your knife collection with the signature on the blade. So definitely recommend the knife, and thanks for listening.